Pete. There's no number 100 machine. The Renter Racer, of course, very popular. I think Tom Ridley and Chris Whitlock kind of have ridden that in their previous seasons.
Paul has as well.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah, he rode that a while back because Phil Zanuto rode it as well, and then they're all sort of related. So yeah, he's come through that field as well, and yeah, the club bike is just not being booked this weekend. I'm not too sure why, but it's just one of those things. And we've got it. I think there's just Cadwell in May. Is it May, Cadwell? And the Snetterton towards the end of the year. Everything else is booked up, and we also have Mike Spike Edwards on the bike at Cadwell.
Oh, really? Okay.
Second Cadwell.
Wow, he's a quick man, to say the least.
Yeah.
But there we go. We are underway racing. We're coming through Graham Hill Bend in towards Surtees now, but it's Kev Woolley and Luke McRae first and second position. But we say that Mike Spike Edwards, Macau Grand Prix winner in 1988.
You're the stat
maybe.
Man.
Oh, someone's going to have to Google that. Someone get on Google. But they're coming around at Clearways at Clark Curve at the end of lap number 1. So we're still showing it a 9-lap race for these guys. And there's Dave Ball, who's just slotted up into second position now, relegating Luke McRae on bike number 5 down to third. Then a very slight gap of 1.1 seconds back to Nick Smith, who's made up 6 positions. Paul Neal, Tom Ridley, Calvin Hogan, Hayden Smith ahead of Richard Hayward and Damien Lee. But Damien, normally in this class, we haven't seen him in the 600 today as well, but Damien looking good.
Yeah. Damien's a great rider, and he won the Clubman, I think, not last year before. So he's a good rider. I was just watching Luke there, and on that first lap, he ran really wide at Graham Hill and was onto the green. So I just don't know if he's been a little bit upset by what happened on that warm-up lap. It just doesn't seem quite as settled as he has done, but we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, going back to Damien, yeah, 100%, good rider, and he's obviously spreading himself thin into another class. And Derek Cripps runs around on an old R1, I think it is as well. So yeah, good experience them lads have got.
It certainly is, and very different bikes as well.
Yeah, indeed.
So you didn't have any plans to race today or this year? What's your plans?
I've been around this paddock for a long time. March, Brands Hatch. You're okay, thanks. So yeah, I'll try and make sure the bike's on the grid every round. That's the key. Whether it'll have me on it or somebody else, and that's my plan. To every round that I can get to. So I've got other things going on this year, and we'll just sort of see how we get on. But yeah, I will pilot it at some point for sure.
I'm just watching the battle there between that's Nick and Hayden Smith, and one of them's got 151, the other one's got 52, and I think it's Nick Smith on the 151 machine who has just had his son Hayden there up the inside as they go in towards Graham Hill Bend. But it's purple in sector number 1 for Kev Woolley, who's looking to open up that 0.473 second of an advantage over Dave Ball. Luke McRae there as well, and the gap's a 1/10 of a second. So Kev Woolley a 52.8 on that lap. So the second of the flying laps, lap number 3 of 9 in this racing. Kev Woolley pretty much matching the time that he set earlier on today. So very consistent and very quick.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Paul Neal that you were just mentioning earlier. I mean, he's running 4th on the grid, a very fast grid of riders as well. And he was a rookie probably 2 years ago, and Clubman last year. He doesn't do every round. He's got his bike tuned by Andy Ball now at TT Engineering. Yeah, he's holding his own today. He's done really well.
Doing a good job there, isn't he? I mean, he was, as you said, the 4th position earlier on overall. He was he's 4th in this race at the moment. He was 4th on the grid, so still first of the Clubmans.
And look where the next Clubman is.
Ian Davies and is that Abby Marshall in 2nd and 3rd in the Clubmans, 13th and 14th overall. But close together on the circuit, less than 2/10 of a second. The same can be said actually for Hayden Smith and Calvin Hogan, because they're side by side as they come across the line. That's for 6th position overall. There is the number 31 machine of Abby Marshall, and she's now playing chase to Ian Davies by just over a quarter of a second. That's 0.274 of a second between Ian Davies, number 64, and Abby Marshall on the number 31. But Luke McRae back out in front of Dave Ball as they go in towards Surtees, and has around about 2 bike lengths or so advantage. So not much, but it's something.
Yeah, definitely. I think you saw the lap times, and David Ball had just set a slightly faster one, has gone 2nd place on the grid. So although Luke finished second in the last race, David Ball set a slightly faster lap time. So these two obviously are well matched, and it's certainly showing that on track.
certainly is. As well, there is fourth and fifth position. That's Paul Neild and Tom Ridley. And just looking there, number 110, Mark Haig. He was fifth position earlier on, but he's showing us down in 11th overall at the moment.
Yeah, quite unusual for Mark. Obviously, he was his first season with us last year after running around on a Aprilia RS 250s for a couple of laps every race until they blew up. But he had a brilliant season last year, and he was up there in the top three. He won the Clubman outright. I think he ended up top three overall in the main class. So, but he has had a weekend of it, an absolute weekend of it. He crashed going to the noise testing. Came out of Angie's Leap at the tunnel there, so that was a starting point. Then his gearbox locked up and spat his chain off going in through paddock. He got clipped by another rider just after a red flag, and that dropped him off yesterday afternoon. So yeah, he's had some real problems. So I think he'd just be glad to be able to finish this weekend and get home.
That's it, exactly. There he is coming across the line now on that number 110 machine, 10th in class and 11th overall. In fact, 9th in class and 10th position overall, because Calvin Hogan is not showing as coming across the line on that previous lap. Looking around for that number 99 machine, there's the battle for second and third going through in towards Surtees now. Fourth is Paul Neild, fifth place Tom Ridley. There is sixth, seventh, eighth and ninth. Can't see that grey number 99 of Calvin Hogan there, Pete. And,
no, I'm just looking around the track and I can't see him anywhere. So no, not sure what's going on there. Is that him coming down pit lane now, just coming?
It looks like it, doesn't it? Yep. Unfortunately, so that black machine with the number 99 on the front of it, that is Calvin Hogan, unfortunately retiring out of this race with only 5 laps complete. But we are on the penultimate lap now, as the race leader of Kev Woolley makes his way towards Druids. So 1.5 there or thereabouts to go in this race. Down in towards Graham Hill Bend, and Dave Ball yet again has the advantage now over the number 5 machine of Luke McRae. But Luke strong on the brakes into Graham Hill Bend.
Yeah, he was definitely closed him in there, didn't he? And he was telling me that his strong point was through the Surtees flip-flop and round onto Clearway. So let's see if we can actually do anything here. This is going to be a close finish. But I did say to David, can you leave my rider alone, please? But it doesn't seem to have taken any notice of me.
Funny that.
Yeah.
So round Clark Curve as Kev Woolley gets the last lap flag. So just over a mile to go. Here comes Luke McRae. Doesn't quite have the run on him here. Dave Ball looks to defend that position as he does successfully. So Dave Ball, number 8, holds on to that second position. Of course, he was second. In fact, he was third earlier on. Luke McRae got the better of him.
Flag, actually, that's the last lap flag.
It is.
So they're still on it.
Certainly is. One more lap to go as Kev Woolley drops down in towards Graham Hill Bend for what will be the final time. Of course,
we've got some back markers here. These could play an important part in this challenge for the second place. Looks like David got good run off that Graham Hill Bend. He's taking the inside of the back markers, and Luke McRae trying to go around the outside. It looks like he has completed that, but I don't think he's going to have enough to catch David at the line.
Yeah, he's lost a tenth or so there, isn't he? And it's just enough, unfortunately, as Kev Woolley then around Clark Curve and across the finish line yet again. The checkered flag goes out, and it's another victory in the YPM class for the former champion of Kev Woolley. Next up is Dave Ball, who takes second position, and Luke McRae rounds out the podium finishers. So far across the weekend, it's 2 wins for Kev Woolley, a second and a third apiece for Dave Ball and Luke McRae.
Well, Luke, fair play. He's been on this bike now probably 7 times, and to jump on this grid and finish in the top 3 in his first 2 races, I think that's very impressive. And not only that, he's also jumping on the CB500, and he won the first race. So the guy's got talent, 100%.
Oh yeah. I mean, all of them. There's so many McRae. Max, Luke, and Ollie. They're all very quick riders. But Luke showing it on the CB500 and the TZR 250 here this weekend. First of the Clubman's is Paul Neild. So he's had a great day, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, what's his fastest time there? Is that 54.3?
54.3
Yeah, that's very good. It looks like Ian Davis got the better of Abby Marshall in this one. They were together in the last one, and I think it was roles reversed in that first race.